What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. Welcome again to the one and the only big time show. This is not the day that I come on, but as news comes in, I guess that's when I'm supposed to jump on here, and I got a little time, so I was gonna save this until tomorrow, but I'm gonna get mine in now because it's gonna be a quick response because nothing like good old cowboy news, ain't it? Yeah. What's going on? I'm sharing. I hope you guys will share as you come in. I hope you would hit the like button as you come in. Help your boy out with that at least. We're gonna do a little very quick show, and I'll let you go ahead and go home with your evening. for the rest of the day. If you're on Facebook, share it. Let me talk to you. No, I forgot. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, and I am live right now on TikTok. Live on TikTok now. Let me speak to that family. I got to get there. Seeing people. Okay. Hello to all of you that have popped in on me real quick over there in TikTok land. Leave your comments there. I should see them, and I should be able to respond. I don't have the double screen going, so you have to forgive me if you're on TikTok if I'm not responding as quickly. I'm sorry about that, but it's just the way that it is for now. Listen, if you want to comment on either platform, especially YouTube, I'll just say that you do a super chat, I automatically just stop what I'm doing and do that. I'm just putting it out there, not for money's sake, because if you just put a 99 cent in, that'll stop me. So it's not about the amount or anything like that. It's just that if you patronize the show in that type of fashion, I figured the least I could do is just read your comment. You know what I'm saying? So we are here on today. Forgive me, I'm sharing. Hope you've had a great Sunday so far. I just got home from my son's basketball tournament, in which they won the championship. Shout out to my son and his team. ISD Elite, another weekend, another championship. These little boys, I'm telling you, they can play. You know, I'm talking about, I put them out there with some big boys. You know, the only reason why they'll get dominated because, you know, the guys are taller. But as far as skill-wise goes, oh, man, they can play. And so I'm all for that. So let me, if you just put a 99 cent in, that'll stop us. That's because I just hit my thing there. See that? Let me do this real quick. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do it. I'm gonna get to it. Really ain't got a lot to say about KaVontae Turpin, even though that's my title, because it's real simple. All right. I'm gonna give you the God's honest truth on what should happen and what shouldn't happen, at least from I almost want to say from a media perspective, since I'm, you know, in a bootleg type of way in media, I guess. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna represent my show. Let me just say that I can't represent everybody else's show. Can't tell everybody what to do and how to do it and all that type of stuff. I'm not for, you know, you do, everybody do their show the way they want to do theirs. I'm gonna do mine the way I do mine, and just gonna say it and be through with it. Let me do this. This, y'all forgive me. Sorry. All right, let's talk. By now, your phones have lit up, and all that type of stuff. You know what's going on by now. You know what has happened. You know that KaVontae Turpin, make a long story short, we ain't got to dramatize it and all that type of stuff. You know that KaVontae was arrested for possession of marijuana and a gun. Yeah, I'm new media. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna do it because on tomorrow, because there's been so much positivity. Well, I ain't gonna say positivity. There's been the positive things that the Cowboys have done over the offseason has been silenced by media, because saying good things about the Cowboys is not popular. Everybody's taking the position overall as haters. They hire haters for the Cowboys because it draws ratings. They'll get one real good Cowboy fan and surround him by 3 or 4 haters, and That's the way they do the business. ESPN does it. Um, you got Fox with the Joy Taylor thing. You know what I'm saying? They do all of that, and they they make their money like their way. No problem with that. It's a capitalist society. Make your money the way you can do it. It's just that the general thing is people who hate the Cowboys. That's the way they made the money. Stephen A. made it great. Him and Skip when they were together. Now Shannon and Skip, all that type of stuff, and they got famous off that. The Cowboys have been a platform for a lot of people to make money off of it. So tomorrow, all the things that you hope they will report about, you're gonna hear about them tomorrow. Thanks to to this deal with KaVontae. You're gonna hear about it tomorrow. And they gonna say, hey, just just wait. They gonna mess it up. They gonna do all this, do all that. That's what they gonna do. And some of it is justifiable. So let's not be realistic. He got arrested, and I mean, he did according to the law in the state of Texas. He did something wrong, and he got arrested as I guess he was supposed to. That's what the law requires. It is what it is. However, there's already been some misrepresentation of what happened already. You heard someone say it was $500 bond. It was a $1,500 bond. Let's get that straight from the top. Okay? Let's get that straight from the top. So you can have the facts. All right? And I'm going to share that with you, and then I'm going to give my little take on it, then I'll let you go. All right? Let me get to this. This came from ESPN, of course. Let me share it and let you read it for yourself. Hopefully you guys can see this. If you can't, then I'll stop it. I don't think you can see that. I don't think you can see that. You can't see that. Probably see that better, but this is not right. Let me see if I can see that on my phone. I know I'm gonna look on my phone while I'm doing this and see if you guys can see that. I don't know. You ain't got to type it in. Well, you can if you want, but I will see if you can see that. If I can see it. If not, I'll just read it to you. You can't see that. And that was just spur of the moment. I really wasn't going to do that, but some of you just need to see the facts, or some of y'all may not even believe me on that. Let me get out of here. Let me make sure. Okay, let me stop wasting time. If you can't read it, just see. Okay, now I see that. Okay. All right. You can't read that. Let me see if you can read that. Might be a little bit better. Matter of fact, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm not even looking at y'all in the chat. Hey, Marcus. Marcus said one was $500, the other one was $1,000, $1,500 total. One charge. Here's the main thing, y'all. Here's the main thing before they try to act like, it's sad, for they act like it's a criminal charge. That's better. I can tell. So if you can't read it, I'll read it to you. All right. Let me read it to you. Dallas Cowboys. This came from MSN Sports, what I'm reading. It says All-Pro kick returner KaVontae Turpin was arrested Saturday by the Allen, Texas Police Department. Is facing, here's the key, 2 misdemeanor charges. All right. If you're taking notes, mark that down. They are misdemeanor charges, according to online records. Turpin, 28, was booked into the Collin County Jail on charges of possession of marijuana. Here's the next key you need to write down. less than 2 ounces, less than 2 ounces, and unlawful carrying of a weapon. He was released from custody Sunday after posting a $1,500 bond. Then they go into the stats and all that type of stuff because that's all you can say. Todd Archer from ESPN would use this report. They went through his stats, talking about what he did, and he's all pro and all that type of stuff. All right. So the main two things that before everybody get it wrong, what everybody need to understand is that it's 2 misdemeanor charges. And the weed that he was carrying was no truckload. It was less than 2 ounces. According to the state law of Texas, it's wrong. So we're not arguing if it's wrong or not, but it's already categorized as the misdemeanor charge. All right. That's the part you need to write down. Write down as less than 2 ounces. You understand? Hey, Keystone, what's up? So there you go. Now, what I'm not going to do on my show, okay, I'm not going to do like everybody else do, because there's a court that can't be avoided, because everyone has a camera phone, everyone has a platform, a Facebook, whatever service you use, X, whatever. And everybody can formulate their own opinions. And that's why the term is now called the court of public opinion. And for some reason, court cases, I don't care what they say. If you sign in as a juror or whatever, acting like people don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Diddy stuff. It's just kind of hard for me to believe that you done found 12 jurors that didn't know absolutely nothing about the case. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing about Diddy, or you haven't seen the video, or nothing like that. It's just kind of hard for me to believe. And I'm not trying to say KaVontae Turpin is on Diddy's level as far as, spotlight is, but people get things locked in their head before, and you're automatically guilty before you even go to court. That's the way things are now. It's a misdemeanor. These are the facts. It's not my opinion. These are the facts. Here are the facts. When it comes to Texas, use your common sense. It's illegal. If it was legal in Texas, he wouldn't have been arrested. That's the first thing you need to remember. So the law was broken. Another whole conversation by itself would be, in America, it's been a fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? There are states that have made it legal. It needs to be one universal rule. It's just that simple. It does. I know people need to be aware of where they are and what they do. I get it. But when it comes to that, when you got doctors prescribing it to people, you know what I'm saying? When you have medical doctors, they say this is medicine for some people. I understand the recreational use, but if it was bad, doctors would not prescribe it. I'm just saying, like, it's not hard for me. I don't get it. See, but see that's another whole story, because the law wants, they ain't gonna publicly say it, and I might get in trouble for this, but the law wants drug dealers to keep dealing drugs on the street. I'll leave that for another day, because see, I'm gonna get in trouble. I've lived long enough to know that there are high people in high places that want drugs in certain communities. I'm not just saying the black community. And they turn the other cheek. It's kind of like Chicago, for instance. Chicago has always been known as a drug-infested city, especially in my people that look like me. It's always been that way. You gonna sit and tell me that they ain't figured that out in a long period of time where they can shut it down? The reason why they ain't shut it down is because they want it there. They know what the gangs and the drug neighborhoods are. Why don't they just go there and shut it down? Been there for 40 years. You got some groups in Chicago that have been in existence, some gang groups that have been in existence for over 60 years. They all know it. Why is that not the case? Could it be that some of the police are on payroll? Could it be that some of the, I'm just saying, you know. But let me get out because I already done slipped up. See, I already knew I was gonna get in a little trouble for all that. When it comes to marijuana, at least, it should be universal. Make up your mind. Either it's not right or it's right. You got too many states that say, okay, we accept it. And you got some states say we don't accept it. You got some states that say it's not a crime. You got some states that say it is a crime. Then you got some states who say, okay, depending on the amount, we'll categorize it as a misdemeanor, or if you got a lot, we'll categorize it this type of offense. And then you got some that can have a whole house full of, and nobody ain't gonna say nothing. Nothing. Colorado ain't gonna say nothing. You could have the weed right there in front of the police, smoking it right in front of their face. They just gonna let you just keep walking on. You understand? It depends on where you're at. Texas obviously is not a good place for those that enjoy weed or whatever. KaVontae broke the law. I'm not gonna go off on that. It is what it is. Unfortunately, he got arrested. I'm quite sure. I don't know if he knows or not, but ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And you know where you are. You are in Texas, and and people don't know who you are. You're very small. KaVontae is a small guy, so he don't look like a football player. Just don't. He don't look like a football player. So now we get to the racial profiling. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it is the case. You got a young kid that look like he in high school because he don't look his age. And he got dreadlocks and he's small. I'm quite sure KaVontae got nice jewelry. He's made some money. And then then notice where you are. The city where he was arrested in was not rural Dallas. It was in Allen, Texas. Now, for those that know about that area of town, let me just go ahead and say this, okay? Because I ain't, see, I'm the one that just don't tell it like it is. Let me say it like this. History shows that black people and a blue uniform have never been on the same page. And it ain't because people that look like me do everything wrong. It's just that some people get automatically set out. Now, here's the other thing. One of the major things that have always been a problem with police and people that look like me is that in the interview process, when they are the hiring of police officers, there have been many police officers. I'm not saying this is the case here because I don't know. So I'm just throwing it out here. There have been many police departments across this country who have hired racists. Yeah. Tattoos show that they racist. They say yes, sir, in the interview process, and they say all the right things, but on your body, you got a skinhead tattoo, you got a Nazi tattoo, you got a Proud Boy tattoo. You know what I'm saying? It's there. Hire them anyway, and then the first thing they do, they put those officers in the streets in black neighborhoods. Come on now. I'm not saying this is the case, whatever. I'm just saying traditionally talking about that. The question is why, and this is the question that needs to be asked, why did Turp get pulled over? Or as he was walking, whatever. It didn't say he got pulled over or anything, but I'm going to assume that he got pulled over. The question is why? Because there should have been a speeding ticket. So we didn't see a speeding ticket or whatever. The question is why? Speeding could have been. Who knows? Why did the police officer have to pull him out of the car? Why did they have to search the car? These are questions that, you got to ask yourself. This stuff probably going to come out a little bit later. I'm just saying these are the things that you just got to ask that. See? Was he smoking? Was the car filled with smoke then? If when you smoke weed, that stench is on you. I don't care how much cologne you put on, or whatever the case may be. You open up the door, good God, it hit you right there in the face, and there you go. I'm just saying what could have happened. What's up, Chris? I see you. These are things that's obvious. He didn't get suspended. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use your common sense here. Was he high at the moment? I doubt it. He could have had some puss before he left. Who knows? He might have been smoking before he did it. Regardless of the fact, hey, they found the marijuana in the car. They found the gun in the car. Now, I just saw Diddy get off. Let me tell you something. These already are categorized as misdemeanor charges. Turp is going to get off. I'm just saying, Turp gonna get off. He's gonna get off. It's misdemeanor charges. Jerry Jones is gonna step in if need be, and all of this is gonna get cleared up and washed away. That's from the legal state of Texas department. That's what I see happening in this. A lot of people are saying it's not a big deal. Well, it's a Cowboy. It's a known player. It's a big deal now. Personally speaking, I believe there ain't nothing gonna come of this. I believe it's nothing gonna happen, and that's gonna be it. However, since you're a Cowboy fan and I'm a Cowboy fan, now we got to ask the question: okay, football wise, and this is the part that I don't want to. This is the only part I really want to talk to y'all about. Really, I had to set it up. And then I had to get to this part, and then I'll let you go. Football wise, while he may not be in trouble about in the state, I don't think he's gonna be in trouble at all, to be honest with you. However, just because, as we all done found out over the years, just because you're not in trouble in the state law, when you start talking about Roger Goodell's office, though, or his court, Here Cowboy says, what about the gun? I just read it. If you see above, I don't know if you can read it, but that was not a charge. Maybe he was charged, but they didn't say it was whatever. The weapon thing is probably more. That's what they're gonna concentrate on. He'll probably get charged. I don't think he's gonna do no time. I just don't. I just think I see what you're saying, Kid Cowboy, but Jerry Jones is one of them. Let me just say that. We just saw what money can do, and I may be getting wrong here. I may be wrong here for saying this because, the people had a job to do, but it's amazing how real big money people get charges just put away. That's what we just saw with Diddy. A lot of money, great lawyers, didn't get convicted, et cetera, whatever. I just think that this is a place where Kid Cowboy, you're right. All that is part of the deal. But listen, I done seen Jerry Jones over the years get Michael Irvin off. Come on now. Michael had pure cocaine on him. It's just, the Jerry done got people off over the years. And it's no question about it. I just feel like he's gonna get involved some kind of way, and I ain't saying what he gonna do. I just feel like he's gonna get involved some type of way, and it's gonna be done, as far as according to the state. However, Roger Goodell is very interesting because he don't operate by what the state say. He has a rule that if you damage the brand of the NFL, you damage the integrity of the NFL in any fashion, any kind of way, you will be suspended. We've experienced that on our team. There have been numerous players who survived the court system, but you had to pay the NFL price. And that's in the hands of Mr. Goodell. And he has been known to suspend Cowboy players. Need I remind you of Ezekiel Elliott, who was on a boat with a consenting young lady. He was touching her in places, just say it like that, and she wasn't fighting it. But the bottom line is he ended up getting suspended for it. Y'all remember that? He didn't get in trouble in Ohio or wherever he was. He didn't get in trouble for that. He got in trouble in the office of Roger Goodell, though. Tom Brady got suspended. Did y'all hear what I just said? Tom Brady got suspended for the inflation of footballs, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that was Belichick. Tom Brady got suspended. The face of the league, one of the big faces of the league. I'm just saying, Roger Goodell is somebody that you just can't predict. The truth of the matter is he did get suspended. Therefore, in Roger Goodell's eyes, he probably did, in his mind, damage the NFL, brought, that type of thing. And so, just because he may get away, and I'm just trying to tell y'all, just because he may get away, or maybe that, things on, he might get probation or something like that. Who knows? But that don't mean you're going to escape Roger Goodell. So, based off of that and based off the past of the way Roger Goodell has handled players for things that are in fan bases' eyes seem to be very small, we probably need to go on prepare now. To be honest with you, prepare for Mr. Turpin to miss a few games. It fits the crime. So, it fits the crime. It fits the crime. The law says about gun charges, your stuff ain't registered. No, I don't think he's serving no time at all, which means he's getting away. He got off. I just believe that, and they already categorized as misdemeanor, but Roger Goodell, total different beast. Because we want to see Turpin on the field. He's an all-pro. He's an all-pro. He's a great player. That's what we're gonna be talking about. We're anticipating. I'm anticipating the suspension. However many games that that fit the crime or whatever that Mr. Godell gonna do. I'm expecting Turp to miss a few games. Guarantee it. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. Which means, let me slip the football, man. Let me stop right quick. Let me highlight this comment. What they mean, kid cowboy? I don't understand. It's a vague statement. He say, "Here's your culture." See, when you say that, before I say what I think you're saying, I need you to clarify that so I don't have to say what I want to say. So I don't want to go off and then it'll be that ain't what you really saying. So I need you to clarify that. I get holiday weekend, no judge. I want to know what you mean by when you say, "Here's your culture, Bishop." Yeah, you ain't got to explain, Bishop. I know who I am. That's me. But I want to say, what do you mean by when you say, "Here's your culture"? What they mean? Y'all forgive me. I'm waiting on Kid Cowboy because I want to say something if it's what I think he's saying. The team culture. That's what you said. Well, and if that's the case, then that's been in existence for a long time. There's a lot of guys on their team that smoke weed. They just unhid it. That's not an issue. It's an issue with Turp, obviously, today. Jerry has dealt with guys who did a whole lot more. Whole lot more. Those teams of the 90s, they were ridiculous when it came to the drug culture. I ain't talking about no marijuana either. It was cocaine involved. Now, I will say this. I don't know. You always, you got 90 players as of today. Kid Cowboy, I ain't gonna say that is the culture because we haven't had this charge in a long period of time. So I'm not gonna say it's the culture. This is just one incident. I will believe that a lot of guys on the team that are smoking weed, they just ain't got caught in the state of Texas. That's the difference. He just got caught. Everybody else ain't got caught. If you think he's the only one that's smoking weed on his team, you're crazy. He may not be the only one, and I guess I'm speculating there. Who knows if everybody got their guns registered? Who knows? Some do, probably some don't. Who knows? He's just the one that got caught. So I'm not gonna say that's the culture. We don't get this every year. We ain't had this with McCarthy at all. Having a wreck, Kid Cowboy, and having marijuana and a gun unregistered, two different things. I mean, ain't nobody gonna be perfect. I mean, I know so far we had made it way all the way through an off season with no drama like this. It's just one that happened right before training camp. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It is what it is. Every team goes through it. It's just not us. You say the damn boys say just the Cowboys being the Cowboys. But be honest with over the last 5 years, we ain't had no real trouble, y'all. We haven't. Kid Cowboy, you can't let a show go by unless you trying to get back on something. And please type in the rest since you said that. You say he was charged for rape, but did he get convicted? Can't tell half the story. Tell it all. Just because you charged with something don't mean nothing. when you convicted of it. That's what we're talking about. And Dak didn't face any jail time at all, wasn't suspended or anything. So it ain't nothing to talk about. So once cause he was charged, that don't mean nothing. A lot of folk can get charged. Okay. So back to what I was saying. I'll take that down now. Roger Goodell is the key here. We don't know when that talk is gonna happen. I'm quite sure KaVontae Turpin will be at training camp. He can do all that. He can play in the preseason game if need be or whatever. It's just that when the season starts, that's when, and I'm quite sure we'll know everything we need to know by then. So we got plenty of time to find out the fate. I would bet and say that something is going to happen with KaVontae Turpin in the office of Roger Goodell, and a suspension is probably going to happen. Based off the way that we've seen Roger Goodell respond over the years to everybody, I just can't see him getting away. Even if he walks away scot-free in the court system, I just can't see him not paying a price from Roger Goodell. So as far as football goes, I think that's where, I'm pulling the cart before the horse here. I'm assuming nothing is going to happen with him in the court system. I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming. That's just me. Misdemeanor charges. I think he'll beat all that. I just know Roger Goodell though don't operate off of what the court system says. He operates off a whole different standard, and it is going to be what it is. And I'm quite sure, I don't know, depending on the games, when it happens or if it happens, I would say it is going to happen. With Turpin appeal the decision, if it's a 2-game suspension, I would say let it ride and go on, get ready for week 3. If it's a 4-game, it's worth trying to fight, and you might get 1 game given back to you, so it might be a 3-game. Who knows? I don't know. But I just think he ain't gonna be able to escape Roger Goodell. Now, let's flip it a little bit, because I don't want to speculate. I mean, I don't want to try the case and all that, because I don't know all the facts. I don't know nothing. I just read to you right what you see up there. That's all we got. Okay. However, what does that do now for training camp? KaVontae Turpin is going to be there, but if he's suspended, that's a roster spot, because he's automatically going to have a roster spot. So what are his areas? He's a receiver, even though he's down in the depth chart as a receiver. He is an all-pro kick returner. He is the punt returner. And so that means probably starting off, somebody else is going to have to do that. Which means a position that you didn't really have to wonder about or have to think about. You knew who your kick returner was. You knew who your punt returner was. Now you got to start thinking, okay, there's a great possibility Turp won't be here for the first couple of weeks or so. Who's now going to be our kick returner and punt returner? And I just said to myself, before I came live, I said to myself, I'd be dang. The Lord sure loved Deuce Vaughn, don't he? Just when most of us had said, we don't even know if Deuce gonna make this team now, I already had him X'd off. I don't know now. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because Deuce is a kick returner. Deuce can be a punt returner as well. and he can be a very effective one, as we all know. If you remember his days at Kansas State, and I mean, Deuce can do this and be extremely effective. And he might do some real damage in that area. And I was saying to myself, like, usually it's a cornerback or a wide receiver who can do that as well. And I'm saying, okay, I'm looking down the wide receiver tree, and I'm saying, well, we don't want Mingo kick returning. We don't want Tolbert kick returning. Maybe this Trayshawn Trayshawn, what's his last name? Is Keystone still here? I think you put it up there earlier. Let me see. Trayshawn Holden. I think that's his name. Trayshawn Holden. Okay. Maybe this. I don't know if Trayshawn has been a kick returner, but he sure is fast. I don't know if he got any punt. I'm gonna look that up in a little bit and see if he, I'm saying guys that may have not had a spot. That door probably now becomes open because KaVontae probably gonna be suspended for a couple games. Gotta have a kick return. Gotta have a punt return. You got to. I didn't say he was, Greg. I just said that the door just got cracked. If the door was shut completely on Deuce, which in my view, I thought it was completely. And it very well it might still be there. Because like I said, you got corners, you got wide receivers who can return. You got that's usually who does it. You may have it. But I think Holden, it was a kick returner. I may be wrong. But I know he interesting. I said I just said Deuce because I know Deuce did it. I know he did. Not necessarily with the Cowboys. He lined up as a kick returner. He got a few kickoff returns since he been here. So I know he can do the job. Or at least they got confidence in putting him out there at least. Punt returner. I think Deuce can do that as well. I'm just saying the door, if it ain't, the door cracks a little bit now. For somebody. Let me just say it like that. I do believe Turp will be suspended by Roger Goodell. How many games? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a lot of games at all. But for whatever games that it may be, you definitely have to have somebody to do that job. And so I think we need to start looking at that now and see who it is. See who that and that job could very well be won in the preseason. If it is Trayshawn Holden, I think he can return. Well, there you go. He can. Trayshawn can get that work in the preseason. I believe he did kick. I believe he can do kick return. I think so. I'm not sure about that. Deuce, definitely probably gonna get a nice crack at that in preseason. I know he is. What was that? Greg just said Jalen Brooks, maybe. I don't know if he has kick return ability or not. I don't know. But somebody gonna do it. And the answer is already in the house. Yeah. Ken Rice says that Rashid Rice have no. He didn't have no suspension. He talking about Turp is good. Then not Jerry need to own the NFL. It's got to happen. It's the Cowboys. You can see it. I hope he don't. I mean, make no mistake about it. But I just done seen Roger Goodell work over the years, and just because you escape the court system, that don't mean you escape Roger Goodell. I've seen that. So I don't know. I just think that we need to prepare. You mean you're gonna do that anyway? You gotta prepare. You gotta be a step ahead. Who knows? What if KaVontae gets hurt? I mean, hello. Somebody got to do the job. So the job, the backup job, if you the backup, you now move up to the starter. If you the third string, you move up to the second string, on the depth chart. So, I mean, it's going to be handled. I just saying with Turpin, with the possibility, and I feel like he's going to get suspended. I hope he don't, but I feel like he is. It opens the door for somebody else. It does. It opens the door. See, if you know you're going to get suspended, the Cowboys may not even let him do anything in the preseason. Turpin don't need to be out there returning punts and kicks in the preseason games. He don't need to. He needs just to get some work. No, he don't. You're going to be practicing anyway. He won't be suspended from practicing. So he'll get all the training camp. He'll get all of that. But as far as getting it done in preseason games, KaVontae don't need no preseason work. No, he does not. Not in the kickoff return or the punt return part. No, he might need a little bit in the receiving work. I'll give you that. But not in kickoff return. So somebody is going to get an opportunity. I feel like somebody's going to get an opportunity to make their mark. And at least for a few weeks, you're going to be on this roster. Game day roster. When Turp get back, you probably go back to the practice squad, or who knows? You might even get cut. Who knows? But yeah, Greg, absolutely right. It just this one suspension change like that. It's a very great statement here that Greg just made here. You trying to keep KaVontae healthy, so when he do come back, then you throw him in the fire. Well, you don't want him to get hurt. He gonna be suspended, and then he'll be out for the rest of the year or 10 games or whatever else. He may not even be, See what I'm saying? I understand that kid Cowboy. I know this is not his first rodeo. That he made it to the league. So all what he did before, all what he did before don't count, because it still didn't stop him from eventually getting to the league and making his mark. So what happened in college? He went to the USFL, became the man down there. He was the MVP, if I'm not mistaken, of the USFL. Got him to the Cowboys. He ain't left since he got here. So that obviously, it took him a little time to get here, but he made it. I don't know if he was really, he's always been a small guy anyway. I don't think that stopped anybody from drafting him. He just may have went undrafted. It's just that simple. It is what it is. But I don't put it in there. I'm just giving we got some heavy storms right here in Memphis. So if my power go out, hey, we'll just shut it off there, and I'll see you guys later. I'm just doing it because it just started and it's coming down real heavy. I think I saw a little lightning strike. So power go out. God bless you. I'm just going off of the history of Roger Goodell and his involvement, even after the court system settles. Whether you did nothing in the eyes of the court, that don't mean that it transfers to Roger Goodell. He suspends people. And I think that's where we really need to. I'm believing that nothing really gonna happen to Turp. As far as the court system goes, I just don't think so. Even though it's a gun charge, I get it. I just don't think nothing really gonna happen other than probation, if that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going with the facts. The facts is that Roger Goodell don't operate like the court system, and KaVontae Turpin, as of today, had put himself in the position where he's gonna have to see Roger Goodell. Hopefully. I don't hope that he has to see him, but usually in cases like this, you you have to you got to see Roger, and we all know. I know, Ken, but you say Rasheed Rice hadn't got suspended, but let me say this, Ken. Ezekiel Elliott did, right? And is in my view, Ezekiel Elliott did far less than what Rasheed Rice did, right? Right? See what I'm saying, Ken? Rasheed Rice, you know what I'm saying? What he did, and he did something major, but Ezekiel Elliott got in trouble for having that young lady that was standing up and he grabbed her breast. Next thing you know, he suspended 4 games for quote unquote, I believe it was assault, right? Didn't look like assault when it happened. It was consensual and all that type of stuff. And he got suspended. You remember you got people, man, Ken, that got suspended in the New England Patriot organization that got suspended for air in football. More air or less air or whatever. Didn't Tom Brady get suspended? You remember that, Ken? For football or lack of air, or whatever. Come on now. Come on now. So you Roger Goodell kind of hard to predict. If Ezekiel Elliott got suspended for touching a female when it was consensual at the time, then it turned into all of a sudden an assault case and all that type of stuff. You can't tell me that this don't mean nothing. Well, yes, it does. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Remember, Turp just got paid too. Exactly, Inflategate. Remember that? Something that seemed like it just totally don't mean nothing. Air, you got less ounces of air, ounces, and it's not regulation. And Tom Brady got suspended for that. Multiple games, multiple. You can't tell me that Roger Goodell don't play. You know, he don't play. He don't play. Well, Tommy, I see what you're saying. The facts say it always. The facts say that it was they've already categorized it as misdemeanor charges already. It was less than 2 ounces. I really ain't worried about that charge. The charge that probably need to be worried about is the gun charge. That it's not registered in his name, unlawful. Not really worried about the marijuana charge at all. They're not. It's a misdemeanor. If anything, you probably get a little probation for that, even if it's not dismissed. So the real charge is the gun charge. And I don't know. I'm not familiar with the laws of Texas when it comes to that. I'm not, or I don't know. I hope so, Ken. I hope so, Ken. Ken, right? I hope so. I look. I hope so. I hope so, Ken. I ain't trying to argue with you. I hope he don't get in trouble. I'm just saying I didn't seen Roger go to work, and it make you question some of the stuff he done put down as far as suspension goes. That's the only thing I'm saying. I hope he all right. I hope KaVontae Turpin doesn't miss 1 game. I hope he don't. I just know Roger go there. You got too much evidence with Roger go there dropping the hammer on guys. For real. Chris just brought up something else. It just goes to show you how go to hell is. And this is true. I forgot about this. Night Owl Cowboy says this. And that's the truth. Those are the facts. Check it out. He said Zeke got in trouble for something he did at Ohio State. And then the NFL suspended. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You at Ohio State. You ain't in the NFL. But Roger Goodell picked up the mantle and charged Ezekiel Elliott for what happened in college. It didn't happen while he was in the league. He charged him for something that happened at Ohio State. Wow. That ought to let you know everything I'm saying right there. That ought to tell you exactly what I'm saying. Roger Goodell is a different animal. Different dude. Different type of guy. So I believe that's going to happen regardless. He got to see Roger Goodell, whether he's not suspended for anything or he is suspended. He has to see Roger Goodell. That's the position that he put himself in. That's what's going to happen now. So it is what it is. It's going to happen. That part I'm 1,000,000% sure. That is going to happen. He's going to see Roger Goodell, whether he's cleared or whether he's booked for something that in the eyes of Roger Goodell. It's going to happen. Football-wise, it opens the door for a lot of different things. Because he got paid, the amount of money that he got paid, the Cowboys didn't pay him that money just for being a kick returner. I believe he will be a piece that would be used in the passing game this year more than ever before. They paid him, right? They paid him. He's gonna be a part of the offense. But that door is open now. I agree, King. We'll be ready one way or another. I just hope that we there with all bullets in the gun. No pun intended. But I hope that all our weapons are there when we go to Philly. KaVontae Turpin is a major weapon. Major weapon for this team. Okay. Greg, I ain't think about that. Greg said, what about Jaden Blue? Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Okay. Hey. Part is that because, if he is suspended, then all options are at the table. I'm not sure how much they value Jaden Blue, but if he's really, quote unquote, the number 2 running back, I doubt that will happen. It all depends on where Blue is on the depth chart as far as running back goes, if that's going to happen, Greg. Now, y'all see it in the chat where he says that Jaden Blue, how about, what about him being the kick returner? That's a scary sight because he can do it. I don't know if he can do it or not. I'm just saying I know he's fast as all outdoors, know he's shifty and all that type of stuff. I think that's an option that may be thought about, maybe. Who knows? But something gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. All right, y'all. That's really all I want to do because everybody was texting me, or I got messages about this, and I wasn't gonna wait until tomorrow. We'll just talk about it now. And if something else come out, we'll add on to it and talk about it tomorrow. Shane says a 4-game suspension coming. 4-game suspension is coming. Hey. Wouldn't be surprised. It's Roger Goodell. And I'm not faulting Roger Goodell at all. He's doing his job. He put it out there a long time ago. He put it out. He said anybody that does damage to the brand or the shield of the NFL or the integrity of the NFL will be dealt with. And that went for owners. That went for players. I mean, hey, said that a long time ago, and he has stuck with it. So I based off that, I'm going to assume that KaVontae Turpin may be in a little trouble as far as games go. I believe that. Odell done showed me with a lot of different teams, a lot of different players. You know, if Tom Brady can get suspended, anybody can. And that's all I'm gonna tell you. If Tom Brady can get suspended, anybody can. He suspended Brady. He suspended Brady, anybody gonna get it. Knowing how valuable Brady was to this league, knowing that he was a face of the league, knowing that when people turned on their TV and watched New England Patriots play, people tuned in and see Mr. Brady. There ain't no doubt about that. And he suspended him. So if he's suspended, it ain't a racial thing. He's shown. It ain't a black thing. He suspend white people too. If he suspend Brady, he'll suspend KaVontae Turpin. Trust me. So, it is what it is. Hate it for KaVontae. You know, the law is the law. It is what it is. I believe that, you know, when it comes to the marijuana charge, just to sum it up, you know, America as a whole has to get on the same page. You just can't have these one place say it's legal and the other place say it's not legal, all that type of stuff. We just need to get on one page. You can't have doctors prescribing marijuana to people. The doctors are prescribing it to people. Obviously, it's prescribed to people for the betterment of the individual. So we you know, what used to be considered bad, that's thrown flush down the toilet now. It's not, you know, for recreational use and all that type of stuff. It's been proven by scientists, been proven by doctors that even marijuana heals. I mean, so we got to get on the page of that. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about the gun charge. That's what I'm worried about. So it's gonna be interesting in the case of KaVontae Turpin. Quite sure there are gonna be some more things that come out. Slowly but surely. I'm quite sure it's gonna come out. And Shane says, should Shida make an example of Turpin to suspend him from team activities? I think that even in the case, Shane, of that, I think you need to make sure that we get everything out first. Let's not do it haphazardly. And I know that he got charged with the gun or whatever the case may be, but you know, he just didn't get it registered. But you know, on the moral side, I don't know if that's the right word, moral. I mean, he's a celebrity. He better have something that protect him if he ain't got no security around. I mean, he's a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Better have something protecting him around. I've seen some of the jewelry that KaVontae wears in his interview. I'm quite sure he wear it out. I mean, wears it places. You better. And then he's a small guy. You don't look like a football player. I mean, if he weigh 165 pounds, I'm shocked. He look like a little kid. He does. Like I said, if you look up there and you say he's 28 years old, let's be honest, he don't look 28. He don't look 28 years old. He look like a young teenager. You wouldn't think football player when you look at him. If you didn't know who he was, you just see something regular, you'd just say, oh, just a skinny kid. But because he's KaVontae Turpin, and I'm quite sure he probably was by himself. I mean, I don't know. I'm quite sure he carried, that wasn't the only gun he got. You know, if he got other guns, I'm quite sure he need to make sure that they are all registered. You know, he probably need to do that. And there's a lesson to all the other players on the team and teams that may have weapons that they are not registered wherever they stay at or whatever. Probably need to do that. Because you one stop away. You one stop away from doing seeing what Turpin just got a gun charge. Everybody. Matter of fact, we don't even just have say ball players. If you have a gun, or if you're a regular person, we all know we got to register that gun. Everybody falls in that category. It's just common sense. You gotta get it registered. I'm quite sure that some celebrities don't have to go to the means that us normal people have to do. We got to go down to the place and do all that. I'm quite sure there are ways they can get around where they don't have to necessarily go in there and sit down and do all that, do all that type of stuff. I'm quite sure that's the case. You just need to do it. Seriously. You need to do that. So this don't happen again. He needs to do it. If you got something, you need to do it too. You need to register your stuff quickly. Or somebody come in and say because they're running it. They're running the serial number and everything. Your name better pop up. That's all I'm gonna say. Mine is registered. Trust me. Trust me. There are some places, and I'll close with this. There are some places, y'all, and I'm talking from experience on this one. There are some places, okay, and forgive all my Caucasian people here. I'm sorry. If you think I'm being race or whatever, so be it. It is what it is. It's just the truth. There are some places in America that people like me, that look like me, you can't afford to mess up like this. You just can't do it. There are some places that people that have my skin color. There are some places in this country that you cannot mess up in that particular place because you are going to lose. I'll leave you with this story here. Me, my best friend, and another partner of mine, my former barber, we were going to the Dallas. We got tickets to go to a preseason game in Dallas in the old stadium. And we drove from Memphis going toward Dallas at the time. And if you're from Memphis, you had to go through Arkansas to get to Texas. That's one of the ways. And that was the quickest way. And there's a city that is called Texarkana, Arkansas. I'm sorry. Sound crazy already, don't it? Texarkana, Arkansas. We're driving. We got a radar detector in the phone because we already knew we rolling, and we know that where we were going. We were going through Texarkana. We were going through Little Rock. We were going through, and then of course when you get to Texas, certain places like I just said. We were prepared. We drove through Texarkana. And we driving the speed limit because the radar detector ain't went off or nothing. And we got pulled over by a police officer. We're on the highway. We got pulled over by the police officer. We know we ain't ran and all that type of stuff. And we got pulled over. My former barber was driving at the time. And he asked the question. He said, "Sir," notice he said, "Sir." Obviously, the officer was Caucasian. First of all, he looked in the car and saw 3 black men in there, and rolled the window down. And he said, "Well," he asked him, "Sir, we weren't. Why are we getting pulled over? We weren't speeding." The man said this, and I kid you not. He said, "We ain't never seen a car like this in this part of town." And here's the funny part. It was a rental car. We rented a car. Rented a, excuse me, yeah, it was a car. I think it was when it wasn't a Chrysler 300 back then. I forgot what car it was, but it was, nice looking car. Y'all three paid on it, so we can, you can afford to get the best of the best. We got pulled over because of the car that we were driving. Of course, we had our paperwork. Gave it to him. Took it back. He come back, went back to his place, and got in the car and called it in. I guess he got verified, I'm going to assume. But when he came back, he had all three of us get out of the car. Another car came up. And I was saying, like, oh my God. Oh man, come on, man. We ain't speeding. We ain't got, we know we ain't got nothing on us or nothing. And we just there. This man strips the car down. Hood, trunk, had us open our luggage, dumped it on the ground. Didn't see nothing because we didn't have nothing. We didn't. The two guys, we don't do all this stuff anyway. We didn't have absolutely nothing. Stripped the car down. Made us pick it back up because of course he couldn't charge us with nothing because there wasn't nothing there. I thought for sure that where he was going, I was like, I'd be dang, this man finna plant something in the car on us. I thought for sure. If you doing all this, I mean, you might as well go for the jugular. I don't know, T. Foster. I don't know. I can't even speculate. I'm not going to even speculate on that. I don't know what happened. All we know is just the end result. He's out now. He got bonded out. That's all we know. But we got our stuff on the expressway. You understand me? Had to pick it up, put it on there. A weekend worth of clothes, all on the ground. Stripping it, got the hood up like we had stuff under the hood and in the trunk and picking out the tire and all that. I mean, like, really? All I'm saying is say this. There are some places in God's green earth. We ain't gonna say in God's green earth, in the good United States of America, that people like me can't go to and be comfortable. Because there are people there that are they are what they are. And I said that to say this, Allen, Texas is one of those people. Appreciate you, Jay Bryant. Allen, Texas is one of those places where people like me, who look like me, and the blue uniform or whatever uniforms they wear up there in Allen, Texas. Black people and police officers in Allen, Texas don't work well together. It's not a good mix. It's just the truth. That's just one of the places. Texarkana, Arkansas. That's or Texarkana, Texas, whichever one, because it's right on the border. Call it whatever one you want to call it. That's another place where people that look like me, if the police pull you over, pray to your God right then. It's yes, sir, and no, sir, no, ma'am, no, yes, ma'am. Look, hands up through the window, like this. There are places right here in my town. I'm just telling you, I don't want to get educational for you. If I get pulled over, as old as I am, my hands are up like this through the window. Before you even walk on the side of the car, I'm trying to get home. Because I don't know who's stopping me. I don't know who you are. I'm looking for your tattoo on your neck. I'm looking for your tattoo on your hand, wrist, and praying to God you ain't got a skinhead tattoo or a Proud Boy tattoo or a Nazi tattoo. I'm yes, sir. Call me whatever you want. Yes, sir. No, no, sir. That's that. I'm just like this. There are some places in this place where, and y'all ain't got to comment. I stand out here by myself. It's just the truth. It didn't work. It didn't work in the '60s. It didn't work in the '70s. There are some places that my skin color and police officers just would never work. It's been that way, and it has not changed. Allen, Texas is one of those places, y'all. Shoot, the truth be told, overall, the state of Texas is in question like that. You know, Houston and Dallas have changed a whole lot, but I'm just calling like it is. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I ain't being racist. I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. There's some places right here in my city. It's just like, I know y'all not familiar. I know you're not familiar with right here, but if you've been to Memphis, Memphis is this way. It's a city that is more than almost 85% black. Right here in Memphis. Don't carry your tail up there to Creeksville, Tennessee, and outside of Nashville. Because that's more the eastern Tennessee. You know, that's where most you'll be lucky to find any black people that live out that way. It's just someplace right here in Memphis. Let me tell you something. Listen, right here in Memphis, you got Memphis as a city, but then we got little outskirt cities like Germantown, Tennessee, Cordova, where I live in, Cordova, Tennessee, Collierville, Tennessee. Let me tell you something. Black people know not to go to Collierville. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure in your city, wherever you live at, you know, wherever you live, you know there are certain cities around your area that you can't go if you look like me. You rolling the dice for real. And I don't know why KaVontae was in Allen, Texas. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what he doing there. I don't know. But Allen, Texas ain't a good place. Craig, KaVontae Turpin was arrested. Appreciate you popping in. KaVontae Turpin was arrested for possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, which was a misdemeanor, and he had a gun charge. Yes. Once you leave me, go pull up. Just type in KaVontae Turpin. I don't know if you can see it right here on the screen, Craig, but that'll give you what you know. You got to type in on Google or whatever. Just type in KaVontae Turpin. There's really not a lot there other than he was arrested. He's been bailed out. They did say it was 2 misdemeanor charges. I don't know if that part. You know, I'm reading them. Maybe I'm not interpreting right. I'm gonna read it again. All-Pro kick returner was arrested Saturday by the Allen, Texas Police Department. Is facing 2 misdemeanor charges, according to online record. Now, it said he had charges of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces and unlawful carrying of a weapon. He was released from custody Sunday after posting a $1,500 bond. So I don't know if there's 2 separate charges or they considered the marijuana. You know, I don't know. He said 2 misdemeanor charges. I don't think the gun charge is a misdemeanor. Maybe. I don't know. All I see is 2 misdemeanor charges. And what I was saying, Craig, was, you know, he probably gonna beat the charges, whatever. But he got to go see Roger Goodell. And the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, operates off a different way. He don't care nothing about you being cleared by the law. His law is you can't bring no type of smear on the brand of the NFL or the integrity of the NFL. Well, if that is the case, then KaVontae Turpin has failed. Because he smeared the NFL, he messed with the integrity. And usually Roger Goodell, by history, he makes people pay. And it just ain't got nothing to do with black people. He suspended, I said earlier, he suspended Tom Brady for Deflategate. So, we talking about ounces of air in a ball, and he suspended him. So that ought to tell you something. I don't know, Kid Cowboy. I ain't say he's gonna be there. I said it's just my opinion. They already categorized it. It is a misdemeanor. If it's a misdemeanor charge, it's not major. Not gonna make a non-major thing major. If they categorize it as a misdemeanor, that's light. Usually misdemeanors may get you probation. It may get you something. It ain't nothing major. It ain't nothing major. If they categorize it as a misdemeanor, yeah, it go on your record, but it's a miss. You ain't a celebrity though, Kid Cowboy. You're not there. See, what they tell me is, I don't know if he had the gun out, or did they search the car? Because see, what I just said was Allen, Texas, and black people, Allen, Texas Police Department, and black people don't work. And I'm not saying that it was a racial guy. I'm quite sure. I ain't saying I'm quite sure. Who knows? I don't know if KaVontae hit a little bit before he got in the car, or while he was in the car when the door opened, the weed smell came out. I don't know. I don't know if he just had it in his. It could be that maybe because KaVontae is a stylish type guy. He wear nice chains, real jewelry, and maybe this officer looked at him and said, step out the car. It may have not smell like weed. He just saw who it was, and he don't know it's KaVontae Turpin. He see a little skinny guy that got these nice jewelry on, and he said, let me strip this car down. Let me see what you got. You look like a drug dealer. I don't know. It could be that. Could be a little racial profiling going on. What kind of car was KaVontae in? He's an athlete. He ain't got no hoopty. What a little skinny 150-pound dude with this nice jewelry on, got these dreadlocks in his head, driving this type of car. Could it be that? Could it have been that way? I don't know. Step out the car, sir. Racial profiling got a lot of people pulled over. You know that, right? Only to find out nothing was in there. Now they did find something with KaVontae. I'm just trying to get a scenario. Those are the details that's going to come up a little bit later. Those are the details that are going to come up later. When they open up the door, did the smell pop out of marijuana? Or was it that KaVontae was dressed to the nines and looked good and, got his jewelry on and driving a real nice car, and officer see a little dude because he don't think he a football player anyway because he's so little and skinny and look like a teenager almost. You know what I'm saying? So could it be that way? Those are the questions that's gonna be answered. Until then, be careful for those who are talking as if what they're saying is facts. So that goes for the ESPN brothers and sisters. That goes for all content creators. Unless you were there, you don't know. KaVontae Turpin knows the details, and I'm quite sure his lawyer by now knows the details, and I'm quite sure the arresting officer knows the details. That's where, and until they talk, everything else is pure speculation. I'm just saying, if you don't know who KaVontae Turpin is, he does not look 28 years old. I do not believe this dude is 165 pounds. He look every bit of $150. I believe that. But he is a professional football player, and he has gotten paid. He got a signing bonus when he signed his extension. He got paid for real. I'm quite sure this guy has a nice car that got pulled over, and then of course he found what he found. But you see what I'm saying? Jay Bryant brings up another point. If there was a smell from a car, you got to charge with driving under the influence. I'm saying that's true. You didn't get charged for no DUI. I'm not saying what I'm saying. When you start thinking about it, you got to figure it out. If he got charged for a misdemeanor, he didn't get federal charges. Cushion. Read the article. He got that in the state of Texas, less than 2 ounces. He got it charged as a misdemeanor charges. That's what it says right there above. You don't know if you can read that, but he got 2 misdemeanor charges. There's nothing wrong. He ain't Hunter Biden. So he got 2 misdemeanor charges. It ain't federal. It's not that. So we're not even gonna entertain it. The facts say here are the facts. We're not gonna speculate here on my end. The facts say you got 2 misdemeanor charges. Misdemeanors usually mean probation. The gun charge, that's the part that we don't see in the article. They didn't say anything about another type of language when it comes to the charge. All it said was 2 misdemeanor charges. His name obviously probably is not registered to the gun, so that'll get you in a little trouble. But all we see as of now is misdemeanor. No, you had one in college. Yes, I get it. Exactly, T. If it was crazy, it would have been far more than a misdemeanor charge. Because you do realize when they type in his name, his record is there. So all that will come up when he have his case or whatever the case may be. All I know is that that part will get figured out. I'm more leaning toward Mr. Godell, Roger Godell, and I know how he operates. And I would think that there probably will be a suspension of some sort for KaVontae Turpin. I believe that, according to Roger Godell. That part I do believe. I would be shocked, let me say it like that, if he does not get suspended by Roger Godell. It may be 2 games, it may be, 4 games, and then he probably appeal it and may drop to 3. Or who knows? I'm just saying. I just believe Roger Godell is going to suspend him. I'm already fast forwarding it. Perjury is when you lie, Ekush. That's lying. That's exactly. You see, I'm letting you Kush. They don't even. I just said the facts is that it's a misdemeanor charge. That's what they got on record in Texas, Allen, Texas. It's a misdemeanor. They've already said it's a misdemeanor. He had less than 2 ounces worth of weed according to the law. That is a misdemeanor charge. If that weed smell when that arresting officers came out of that car, I agree. I'm not saying I'm factual. I agree with Jay Bryant when he said that he got charged with driving under the influence. How you know he was lying though, Equals? You ain't got to lie. You just take the gun and run the serial number and see if that person's name pulls up. If that name does not pull up and the gun is not registered, that's all they need. How you know? How you know he lied? How you know he could have got it off the street? He could have bought the gun off the street. He didn't need no phone. I'm just saying, you got to consider that. You know, he can get on the phone. Celebrities and guys like him don't walk to no gun shop like we do. He calls somebody and say, "Hey, I need a Glock. I need a 9mm. I got you. I know who to call." That person calls somebody. They get delivered the gun to them. There ain't no phone. It could be that you very well could be right, but I'm saying when you say lying on a going phone is a lie, how you know he filled out a phone? How you know? How you know that he bought the gun? I mean, how you know it's not a street gun? How you know? I mean, unless you know something I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, how you know? See, we're not going to assume. I'm not going to assume anything. I'm going by what that police report says right there. All of what you saying is going to come out, whether it's true or not. It very well could be what you're saying, but at the same time, it may not be at all. That's all I'm saying. We're not going to, that's one of the things that we have perfected in this country, for real, lately. Because everybody has a cell phone, everybody can take videos, everybody puts all the business out on social media, and the court of public opinion has a person guilty before they even walk into the courtroom. You know, people don't even know the facts. Just the court of public opinion, keyword, opinion. Which is what I guess I'm doing, but I'm not speculating. I just gave y'all the facts. The facts is he was arrested. The facts are it was 2 misdemeanor charges. Facts are it was less than 2 ounces weed. And he's been bonded out $1,500. Those are the facts. That's all we got right now. Everything else is pure speculation. Now ESPN is going to do a lot tomorrow. They're gonna say a whole lot and try to figure stuff, all that type of stuff. Court of public opinion, debate shows, all that type of stuff. But the facts, when they finish talking, the facts are right there. They done showed you. It ain't that many. It's really all we got right now. The only people that's gonna verify some of this speculation is the arresting officer, KaVontae Turpin, and KaVontae Turpin's lawyer. They know the full details. And I'm quite sure all that's going to come out. Until the end, whoever that you look at, whatever content creator you look to, please don't count what they saying as facts. If they ain't just said what I just said, and I ain't saying because I'm the man, I'm just saying here it is. 2 misdemeanor charges, less than 2 ounces of weed. He was arrested. He bailed out. We'll wait and see what's going to happen after that. In my time on this earth, a lot of misdemeanors turn into probation. That's what I've seen. There ain't gonna be no real jail time. The price he gonna pay, in my opinion, is gonna come from Roger Goodell. I think the court system. I mean, that's the one that's gonna get him. So I don't think that really, just my opinion on this, I don't think really nothing major gonna happen to KaVontae. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And he may very well just come away with some type of serious probation or something like that. If it is some jail time, it definitely won't be long. I believe that. I don't think it's gonna be no jail time anyway. But anyway, that's just me thinking out loud. But that's an opinion. Don't bank nothing on it. You may get somebody on here and say he going to jail. He's gonna get fed time. He's gonna do it. But that's an opinion. Again, court of public opinion. We just gotta wait. We gotta wait until the process finishes, and then we'll know eventually, what it's gonna be. But if we just reporting the news, football wise, and I don't went way over my time. Football wise, I believe because he is going to be suspended, I believe this opens the door for somebody to make this team, at least for a couple of weeks. Somebody gonna have to be our kick returner. Somebody gonna have to be our punt returner. Somebody that we weren't counting on. Somebody's gonna have an opportunity here. If somebody said he just got paid a lot of money, great extension he just got signed to, whether you feel like he was gonna be the fourth receiver or the fifth receiver, well, if he's suspended, he won't be nowhere on the depth chart for however many weeks he's gone. That opens the door for somebody to make this team that probably was thinking about not making it. I threw up the name of Deuce Vaughn because I had him out of the door. Deuce Vaughn is a kick returner. Not only is a running back, but he's a kick returner and punt returner. I think that option probably is going to be open again. Now, whether he makes the team or not, I don't know. Somebody threw up Trayshawn Holden. Hey, somebody is going to make it. Usually cornerbacks return punts too. I don't know who is one of our corners that can do it. I don't know. But somebody's going to make this team, unexpectedly, because that's a roster spot. KaVontae Turpin is a roster spot. 2 roster spots, really. One person count for 2 spots. He was going to be a receiver. He was going to be a kick returner, obviously, and punt returner. So that's essentially 3 spots that are open right before training camp. This is not going to stop him from practicing in training camp. He'll be able to do all that, and he'll be able to even play in the preseason game. But I don't think KaVontae is on that level now where he has to play preseason games. His job is secure. You don't want to take a chance of him getting hurt in the preseason game, returning kicks or punt returns. So I don't think he's going to do that in the preseason game in the first place. So he gets to stay in shape. He gets to practice with the team. And then we'll wait for week 1. And I'm quite sure by then, Roger Goodell will have given one way or the other his sentence, or even if it's not a sentence or whatever. I think he's going to get one. I know Roger Goodell. I've seen his work over the years. I think he's going to get suspended. I don't know how long. It ain't going to be no long one. But the bottom line is, for whatever, however long it is, a spot just became open. Or it's going to be open. So that's the main thing. Well, it's not the main thing, but I'm saying that's just a byproduct of what happened today or what's going on. All right, man, I appreciate y'all. If we find out something else by tomorrow when I come on, we'll talk about it then. Well, I'll be on probably tomorrow night, I think. I think I'm coming on tomorrow night. If not, it might be either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. One or the other, I'll be on tomorrow sometime. All right. Appreciate all you guys popping in on me on this. Let's not get into the court of public opinion. At least I'm not practicing that on this show. We're not going to do that here. We're just going to stick with the facts. No. Goodell, he said Goodell doesn't move. He'll move to the what they call it, conduct detrimental, whatever the list, whatever his list is called. You know, that you've been on long as you're on the list, you can't play all that type of stuff. I get that. But it just depends on what he has on his desk. You know what I'm saying? I don't, the facts got to come out first before Godell even really start doing anything. So that's really what has to happen first. And Jay Bryan may be right. He does not move that fast. He just got to wait and see what the court system says, and then he'll make his move. It is what it is. All right. Now, I appreciate all y'all. We'll talk again about, hopefully not this too much. If y'all want to talk about it, then, it's kind of like y'all show, and we'll do it. So if I say it's freestyle Monday, freestyle Monday, it is what it is. Jay Bryan, it is his first offense in the NFL. However, he did have a charge while he was at TCU. He did have a charge while he was at TCU. So I don't know if Godell can make him pay for what happened at TCU, but I did see him make Ezekiel Elliott pay for what happened before he got to the NFL. I saw that. When Ezekiel Elliott got in trouble, remember that incident happened before he was in the league. Made him pay for that. That in mind. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait till everything come out. Then we'll have a little bit more to talk about from a factual standpoint. We don't want to get into the what ifs and could be's and could be not. I just, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I just know what Godell said was his standard. Godell said that if you bring down the integrity of the NFL, or you tarnish the brand of the NFL, you're gonna pay the price. This sounds like that fits that category. So we'll see. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll do it again some point tomorrow. And we'll holler at you tomorrow sometime. Turn those notifications on wherever you're watching me from. And then you'll be able to check me out live at that particular point. Okay? All right? It should pop up on your phone. You'll be able to talk then. All right? I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you all that's on TikTok. Appreciate all of you guys that popped on, and appreciate y'all giving me a couple moments of your time. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. We'll see you tomorrow at some point. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and only, the Big Time Show.